Admiral's Arrogance are a new pair of unique gloves added in patch 3.25, and they're themed around rage and melee in general to go along with the rage and melee overhauls in this league. This unique drops exclusively from Admiral Belarius, a new boss that can be encountered after his pirates commandeer one of your ships. Admiral's Arrogance is quite a simple unique item, but its modifiers are very strong. Let's start out by looking at the rage modifier. 10 to 20% chance that if you would gain rage on hit, you instead gain up to your maximum rage. This stat is immediately useful for any build using rage to be able to quickly hit max rage after either losing it or entering a new zone. As of patch 3.25, rage now only provides more attack damage by default, and you're limited to gaining rage on hit no more than once per half second. Even though the sources of gaining rage were largely improved together with its rework, the rage decay mechanic was also changed to make rage fall off much more sharply the moment you leave combat. You lose 10 rage every second if you haven't been hit or gained rage in the past 2 seconds. So it's quite easy to lose a significant amount of your rage stacks or even all of your rage when you need to move during encounters, especially in boss arenas with phases. Admiral's Arrogance will make it so that whenever you gain rage you have a chance to instantly gain up to your maximum rage. This is 30 by default, but a build investing into rage may have 60 or more maximum rage, and potentially as much as 100 plus maximum rage if they're also making use of Vengeful Cry. So the ability to immediately gain maximum rage is powerful because it essentially removes the ramp time that you would usually have in gaining rage before you're able to deal your maximum damage output. But this stat becomes a lot stronger when you're able to actually spend the rage that you have. Rage Vortex and Rage Vortex of Berserking make a great pairing with these new unique gloves. Rage Vortex of Berserking is the transfigured version of the skill, and it spends rage at an accelerating rate to keep a cyclone-like effect up around your character. This attack continuously hits enemies around you, constantly proccing your rage gain up to the maximum of once per half second, but without the use of something like the Chainbreaker keystone, this skill won't have a very long uptime before you completely exhaust your rage pool and need to rebuild it again to make use of this ability once more. Admiral's Arrogance provides a new way to utilize Rage Vortex of Berserking, because not only will you be able to continuously proc the max rage modifier during the skill, helping to extend the skill's uptime, but you will also be able to very quickly jump back into using this skill again after it fully depletes your rage. Rage Vortex of Berserking consumes about 9 rage in the first 2.5 seconds after using the skill, which, if you're hitting the cap of rage gain per half second, is the approximate amount of time you'll need on average to hit the maximum rage modifier on Admiral's Arrogance with a max roll of 20% chance. So after fully depleting rage, you should be able to gain enough rage from a few sources to be able to just jump straight back into using the ability again. For example, a hit with your movement skill like Leap Slam or Shield Charge. And since a lot of builds using Rage Vortex of Berserking will make use of its upside of being able to snapshot an exertion for the full duration of the skill, you could pair this with the Rage Mastery to gain rage on using Warcries per Warcry power to help you gain enough rage to begin using Rage Vortex of Berserking once again. There's also the Berserk ability, which was heavily nerfed in 3.25. This skill is now in a place where the buff it provides is good, especially if you augment rage to grant more than just its default more attack damage stat. But it's not a guaranteed mainstay in every build that invests into rage. To make it more useful, you need a way to gain a lot of rage very quickly, which is where Admiral's Arrogance comes in. The combination of this unique with Berserk will mean that you're simply able to benefit from the boosted rage effect on a larger amount of rage more often, significantly improving the upside of the skill, while also nullifying its downside of fully depleting rage, as you have a good chance to be able to quickly reach maximum rage again thereafter. One thing that's important to mention about this modifier on Admiral's Arrogance is that it's specific to hits which grant rage. Anytime you gain rage from a source other than a hit, for example Counter Spirit, Chainbreaker, or the Rage Mastery for Warcries, you won't have this chance to gain maximum rage from this particular source of rage generation. So we've established that the rage modifier on these gloves is quite good, especially if you have a way to spend rage, but Admiral's Arrogance also has another very good modifier, +1 to 3 to the level of all melee skill gems. This is a gem level modifier for all skill gems which have the melee tag, and it's not specific to gems socketed in the gloves either. It will improve the level of all melee gems that you're using. Now, melee gems, outside of those with large amounts of flat damage, of which most of them were removed in this patch, they've historically scaled quite poorly with gem levels, but in patch 3.25 a lot of these gems were completely rebalanced. Plus 3 gem levels on most melee skill gems now will on average provide an increase to the effective attack damage equal to around 16% more damage. For example, Ground Slam of Earthshaking, which is very popular in this league, which goes from 688.2% attack damage at level 20 to 804.5% attack damage at level 23, an effective increase resulting in about 16.9% more damage. But some of the melee gems gain a lot more from these gem levels. For example, Elemental Hit gains about 30% more flat damage going from level 20 to level 23. There's also Shield Crush, which is an interesting one. This skill gains about 30% more flat damage, but in the average Shield Crush build, the flat damage portion of the skill typically only makes up around 20% of the overall damage, with the other 80% coming from the scaling damage gained from the armor or evasion total on the shield. The scaling portion of the skill has a gem level breakpoint at level 24, so if you have a level 21 gem, you'll be able to reach this level 24 breakpoint by using a max roll Admiral's Arrogance, at which point you'd be gaining about 22% more damage from the 3 bonus gem levels. But one of the biggest winners of this particular modifier on Admiral's Arrogance is Frostblades of Katabasis. The 3 gem levels make this skill's attack damage scaling gain about the same as the others mentioned earlier, around 16% more damage. But Frostblades of Katabasis has a very special component of the skill which creates an AoE that deals cold damage over time, and this portion of the skill massively benefits from those gem levels. Going from level 20 to 23, the Cold Dot goes from dealing 3,344 damage per second to 5,029 damage per second, or an effective 50% more damage. Notably, only the attack hit portion of Frostblades of Katabasis benefits from the more attack damage granted by Rage, but do keep in mind that you don't actually need to invest into scaling your Rage to gain a lot of benefit from just the gem levels alone from using these gloves while using this skill. And overall, these are just some very good new unique gloves, certainly one of the better new unique items added in this patch, and they're going to provide a decent damage boost to pretty much any melee build that picks them up, but they're especially useful if you can take advantage of spending Rage, or if you can benefit a lot more than the average build from the gem level scaling. Thanks for watching this video, and thank you for your ongoing support. As always, stay tuned and stay safe.